Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler Mando. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I am fantastic. You know what's one thing Mount Gox can't sell? Is Solanos and meme coins. What's up, Tyler? How you doing?
I'm good. So tornadoes ripped through downtown Chicago last night. This is very rare for us. We don't really get tornadoes. Downtown. It's like 10 o'clock last night. We heard like loud rumbling on our roof. Like one of our children's like tables blew off our roof last night. It's hanging from a tree on the sidewalk by our condo right now. But everything's good. Just some trees down. Everyone's safe. So some recovery here this morning, and some green on the board helped recover a little bit as well.
Okay. Well, listen, I had never heard of tornadoes in Chicago, but you guys have a very windy city, so I'm also not surprised. Like, Chicago is windy AF. Y'all ever been to Chicago in the winter? Oh my God, it's cold. Oh my God. I did a school trip once in Chicago when I was a kid, but it was in the summer. It was way too hot. I went to Bubba Gump. Bubba Gump? Is that what it's called? In the Navy?
Yeah, you'll have to come back. It's nice. It's nice this time of year, usually when there's not tornadoes.
Yeah. Please keep me away. Keep me from tornadoes. Chicago's a city that I personally love. I find it a lot of fun. Anyways, Mondo, how's France? How's the south of France?
It's good, man. It's good. Good, nice view ahead of me. Pretty chilled.
I can see it in your reflections. Got the nice sea.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. You don't want to share the view with us? You don't want to like sit the other way around so we can like enjoy the sea while we talk about the bull market?
Tomorrow I will. I spent the morning putting up a paddling pool for my daughter. So there's a paddling pool on the other side.
I love that. That is so cute. Well, anyways, today on the show, today, listen, the week started off strong. The Bulls were definitely back in town with a classic special with Ovi yesterday. Ovi was coming back on Friday. So Tyler, don't worry, you didn't miss anything because he'll be back on Friday. Definitely. You know the bull market's back when Ovi's like fully like, okay, I want to host again. I'm getting back in the ring. He's got a kid. He's over it. He's been a week old. He's been a father for a week now. He's like, okay, I gotta get back on Twitter Spaces, man. Anyway, so now the show today, market report as usual. So let's see what the market brings us this morning with a tiny bit of a cool off, but it's looking great none the least across the board. You absolutely love to see it. Definitely curious to talk about Mt. Gox and all the things going up and whatnot. And then of course, as usual, Tyler's top 100. Tyler was on here yesterday, so I'm assuming that he has like top 600 this morning. He must have a lot of tops. That's for sure. Oh, we got a little bit of that. We're good. And so I'm sure Tyler has a lot to talk about this morning. So without further ado, wait 1 second. And of course, we're Tuesday. It is Robot Tuesday, so 2 people will be selected at the end of the show to come on the show live. If you're live, you got to follow all of us, all 3 of us, plus Fomo plus Rug, because that way all 3 of us plus Fomo plus Robot, and then we'll pick 2 people. I got nice selections of NFTs for y'all in there today. I mixed it up 4 different levels of win, so it'll be fun. So without further ado, why don't we get right into it?
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah, GM everyone. So we have kind of held yesterday's levels. We were kind of around this level yesterday when we went live. We did go all the way up to around 160 on Solana, about 65k on Bitcoin, and just above 3,000, well, nearly 3,500 actually on ETH. And then Mt. Gox came and slightly spoiled the party. So they transferred around 6 billion of Bitcoin this morning. And this does look like we are now approaching repayments time. So Kraken notably emailed a number of their users that they were going to start making repayments in Bitcoin. So we are now probably sitting here in the next 17 to 14 days to see repayments from Kraken, and I imagine many of the other affected users will also be getting their money back over the next few weeks. The total amount here is over 10 billion. So it's a decent amount, although people are expecting it to be perhaps even less sell pressure than when the German government sold theirs. So people are expecting something like 25 to 40% of this to be sold, probably on the lower end of that, just because of the big tax implications, and also because people might just choose to hold it. So they're not expecting it to be as violent and to be far less than the headline figure. So personally, I kind of feel like now after this is done, you can get pretty bullish on supply coming to market. You still have the US government that has a decent amount from various, but I feel as though the US government, particularly with Trump's comments, might be veering towards keeping that. You know, you don't just randomly sell over 10 billion worth of Bitcoin if you want to keep it as a reserve asset. So I think you can get pretty bullish, particularly because for FTX is coming in the second half, hopefully, of this year, that we haven't really got anything to be scared about somebody dumping. Like, nothing crazy after this Mt. Gox amount is gone. This Mt. Gox amount has been spoken about since I first got into crypto, and probably well before then. Like, it's definitely been something that people have been scared about for a long time. So now that this is in the back, or could be in the rearview mirror very, very soon, I think people are starting to get very bullish. So we saw a general rally. We've seen a bit of a dip on the back of that, but my honest view is that if you're waiting for another 60K retest on Bitcoin, it doesn't look like we're going to get it. I think it looks like we're going to power even higher. Looks like stocks are opening up slightly higher again. There were some bullish comments, or dovish comments at least, from Jerome Powell yesterday, again indicating that we're going to see rate cuts. It's now approaching 90% probability that we're going to get a rate cut in September. So very, very high probability. You've seen actually the rates market, rates have come down a lot over the last few sessions. 10 years now down to 4.2%. Dow is up 500 points again today. So stocks are fully stonking right now.
I love that.
In particular, this is moving away from just tech into a bit of a broad-based rally. The Russell's also up about 2%, which is kind of small stocks. So people are getting very, very bullish. I think part of that is 100% expectation now, or a very, very high expectation that Trump will win. And generally that was meant to be a bullish sign for the stock market at least, but also just a reduction in rates being priced in kind of globally. Inflation's coming down quite a lot. Unemployment's starting to pick up. It's starting to look pretty rosy in terms of macro picture, at least. So yeah, bullish across the board. Interestingly, in terms of sectors yesterday, we spoke about the fact there had been a bit of a pain trade for the last month in meme coins versus altcoins. Yesterday,
not anymore.
You definitely saw meme coins pick back up. So, and some of the ones that have been beaten up. So with Pepe, all had big catch-up moves. So all of the top movers really in the top 300 were meme coins again, which has been lacking for a while now. So it'll be interesting to see that if we do continue to see a rally in Bitcoin here, if that continues. I think the one that probably surprised people the most yesterday was WIF, just because it looked and had been underperforming for so long. You had strong moves in POPCAT and MOG.
Aggressive, bro. That POPCAT coin is fucking crazy, dude. I don't even have it. It's actually insane to watch. Look at that.
Yeah. It actually flipped MOG yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
POPCAT,
I think it's still higher than MOG right now.
Yeah. So in the cat coins. So cat coins are kind of coming off, and interestingly, Pepe and WIF definitely look the strongest of the two this morning in terms of major meme coins.
Yeah, I mean, Solana's looking good. And if anything, WIF showed us that it's still somewhat of a beta, right? So we tweet that, but it's true, man. It came back pretty strongly, and you'll have to see it because there's a lot of bag holders in memes, right? We're a lot of community members. I'm a professional community member, by the way, y'all. So I mean, I definitely talk about myself when I say things like that. So it was good. It felt like a good rally yesterday. The energy was electric Let me tell you that. And a lot of people flip-flopping. I saw one of my favorite tweets from yesterday. I have to bring it up, guys. Is Mike? Oh man, I love Mike Dudas. He cracks me up, dude. So Mike Dudas yesterday, he posted this. Did you guys see this? Hello. Oh fuck, Mike, you tweet a lot, dude. You're a proper boomer. I tweet a lot. And they bought a new pair of Andrew Kangs. That's a brutal mugging right there. Posting a pair of flip-flops. One thing I noticed, Mando, and I know we talked about it yesterday with Ovi, and Ovi literally came on the show specifically only to shit on people yesterday, which was hilarious. I feel like he wanted to let off his chest, and I think it was deserved. They've all come back now to say, all the like people that flipped bearish, like complete bearish, it's like, hey, I think we're gonna go down before we go up. Like they were not they were not calling for a pullback in the bull market. They fully flipped bearish, right? Which is different. Are not coming back flip-flopping, all the big traders saying, I was right. My move happened. We went from 71.5, 73, 74 to 55. I was right. No, you were not right. You were wrong. You called for a bear market, and we just had a pullback, and you were bearish at the lows of the range, right? Did you see the story of Zoran? Didn't you host him like 3 weeks ago? Did you hear that? That's crazy.
What's the story? Sorry, I missed
it. So, do you remember when he flipped long?
Yeah.
And then we dumped?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's here. Here, I'll show you. So, it turns out he flipped bear at 55. So, he flipped long, and then we dumped, and then he flipped short, and then we pumped. Yeah. So
is that true?
Yeah. And is that
actually true?
I mean, he trades publicly.
Wow. Look, that's a classic case. That's a very good tweet there. Is that you can feel so euphoric even as a bull, right? In many different ways. Yep. If you're a short-term trader, you actually have to time 4 trades, really. Right. You need to time the flip to a contrarian trade. Then you need to trade the trade out of that. Then you need to get the trade going back into the trade the opposite direction. So let's say you've gone short, you then have to trade going back long at the bottom, and then you have to trade the exit of that at the top. So instead of just having no trades and just holding and seeing Bitcoin go from 71K now to 74K, literally a move of 10%, probably going to be closer to like 5% by the end of this week. You ended up having to do a balancing act across potentially 4 trades to get in and out of that. And I think that's a perfect example. Like, you can be the best trader and get one of those 4 trades wrong. If you get any of those trades wrong, you get screwed. And you can be left either underexposed or liquidated or completely the wrong direction and just holding on to a bad trade. So I think that just proves that for the vast majority of traders on here, you're not traders. Like, you're not traders.
No.
And I used to trade markets, right? I can tell you confidently that crypto is the hardest fucking market to trade, and it's not the violent swings. I guess part of it is the violent swings. It's that you have to be at your desk at all moments. Like, if you miss the moment where it breaks through, like if you miss the Trump headline, there's kind of no coming back to it. Like, then the momentum can be so high that all the gains can happen within hours. And if you're asleep, or if you're just like not there, you're just hanging out, you're having lunch, or like whatever, like, you just miss the whole setup of the trade. So my view on it is that you have to have incredible focus to be a short-term trader in crypto, and people who are claiming that they can do it consistently, I think they basically need to be strapped to their desk at all times. You can do it, and I'm not saying like there are definitely times you can pick your spots. If the market's tanking, or if it's absolutely roofing and it looks like RSI's gone through the roof, or get absolutely smashed lower. There's been a big liquidation on either side. Like you can pick your spots, but to say that you're gonna to do that all the time and be a good trader and be a trend follower in particular, which I think is one of the key things to be in crypto, I think is very, very difficult to do. Because
Yep. It definitely is. Anyways, that's a good roundup. I mean, Tyler, I don't know if you have any thoughts on the market right now. You can't. Yesterday was quite a great day. How you feeling right now?
Feeling good. I think we I always talked about TA, right? Like TA works until it doesn't. It's just you can't miss the updates. And McMahon just mentioned that. But like these things move so fast off the bottom that if you're long-term bullish, I just don't understand trying to catch down swings to potentially accumulate a bit more. That's never really made any sense to me. And we've seen it now, like what the memes are up. What's up 40, 50% off the local bottom, 50%. That's too high. But it's up a solid 30 to 40%. Bitcoin's up 10, 15%. Solana's up more. If you took a long weekend, if you're on holiday this past weekend, you just missed that entire move now. And you're scrambling. We saw some capitulation back in, which I think explains it. I do think, of course, like the Trump thing could not have been predicted, but this is an unpredictable market. Yeah. And I do believe that the bottom is in now. Yeah. And there are more bullish catalysts ahead than ever. And the setup looks fantastic. And now I'm even starting to wonder, like, is the summer of chop, like, do we still think that's the most likely outcome, or do we start kind of grinding higher here? And one thing we haven't talked about, ETH ETFs. They're coming next week.
Yeah, I mean, the big news came out yesterday, right? That they were coming out Tuesday. Then everybody got excited, like, oh, it's today. Then they had the DB News had to repost saying update next Tuesday. On July 23rd. So we got an official date for the ETH ETFs. I mean, woo-wee. This is exciting. It's very exciting. We talked a bit about the ETFs yesterday, but obviously we didn't have the news. ETH trading at $3,400 right now. So not so bad. It's going to be next week is going to be a very, very, very exciting week. Nick Gerasi, he was right? He called yesterday. He went on the record, said, it's going to be happy ETF approval week. So we're getting ready to go for next week. And honestly, it's some exciting times ahead. Speaking of which, Tyler, let's see what you got for us today.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis, Tyler D on Fomo hour cause the kid can't miss.
Ready to bash some bears. All right, crypto majors rallied into yesterday into the evening, then dipped overnight after the Mt. Gox movement. They've since recovered a bit. We have Eric Balkunas saying the ETH ETFs are set to launch next Tuesday, July 23rd. ETH is at 34.20 here this morning. Larry Fink, he went on CNBC yesterday. He laid out the bull case for crypto. He went on to call Bitcoin digital gold in a series of bullish comments. We also saw Stripe. They've expanded their crypto offerings into the EU, allowing users to buy Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and more using credit or debit cards. In politics, Trump, he has announced J.D. Vance as his vice presidential candidate. Vance, seen as crypto-friendly. He is a Bitcoin owner himself. CT has been celebrating this appointment, as have others. The J.D. Vance memes, though, they were not celebrated. Most were nuking almost immediately after the results. So you got to be careful in the polyfi streets.
Memecoins are not prediction markets, lads. Please.
Memecoins are not prediction markets.
Paid out for being right over there. You get dumped on.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that. In other meme coin news, we did see the leaders rally a solid 20 to 30%, led by Pepe with POPCAT. Forbes listed WIF as the top meme performer of 2024. So big call out there. Ordinals, NFTs over on Bitcoin, they're up 10 to 15% along with this Bitcoin move. You love to see that. Snowfro announced the Squiggles farewell contract, allowing users to sign the farewell relic as Squiggle number 9999 is minted to LACMA. You can take part by sending ETH to this contract. That ETH will be refunded. And then some Ape Yuga news last night. ApeCoin announced its testnet Curtis comes today in a bit of a surprise move. So that ApeNet, Ape Chain, it seems like it is coming.
Was it a surprise? I mean, we knew about the Ape stuff, right? And the Arbitrum vote. I mean, we had Steven come on the show, but it's true. It's not like we knew exactly when or what.
Yeah, the date. We knew it has been coming. We didn't know the date. And then apparently, I missed the details, but apparently there's been some drama with Garga and Made by Apes.
I did not miss a piece of that, bro. I'll bring it up for you. I thought we didn't fight when the price was up, but I found one fight on the timeline, and it was something. We'll bring it up, but first, I want to go back to the JD Vance stuff you're talking about, because there's a 2-minute video. Let me see if it works, because it hasn't been working lately. But I do want to play this video, guys. It's really good. And it's JD Vance, who's the running VP with Donald Trump, talking. I don't know when this was exactly, but talking about blockchain technology and its importance, and how he disagrees with Gary Gensler on his approach to running the SEC with regards to crypto. Have you guys seen that clip?
I have.
Yeah, it's really good. Hold on, let me just play it for everyone.
If there's a candidate for worst person, in my view, at least in terms of my substantive disagreements, I'm sure he's like a nice guy, is Gary Gensler. Okay, so Gary Gensler is sort of the complete opposite of my view. And there are two problems that I have with Gary. One of which is that I think he wants to inject politics way too much into the actual business of securities in the United States of America. But in some ways, the more fundamental issue, or at least the most relevant issue for this particular conference, is the approach that Gary has taken to regulating blockchain and crypto seems to be almost the exact opposite of what it should be. And I'm oversimplifying a little bit, but the question the SEC seems to ask in regulating crypto is this a token with utility? And if it's a token with utility, then they seem to want to ban it. And if it's a token without utility, they don't seem to care. I almost think we should be the opposite here, right? I worry about financialization. I worry about, frankly, whether a lot of the crypto stuff is fundamentally fake. But if a token actually has utility, that's the sort of thing that, by all means, regulate it. By all means, be careful about, how consumers interact with it. But you don't want to just get rid of this stuff. And here's where I really, really worry about this is a lot of the newest challengers to the social media incumbents of 2024 are going to require some blockchain technology to make their business work. Maybe they'll require a token that supports verification. There are all of these ways in which the companies, when I talk to sort of friends who are still in the VC industry, the companies that are most exciting to them, they're doing actual things in communications in the 21st century, in 2024, I should say, those companies very often rely on high utility tokens to do things like verification. Well, if we're not making it possible to do verification, then we're going to make it really hard to challenge the existing incumbents in the space.
So anyways, that was a clip. I wanted to play the whole thing because the whole 2 minutes is really good, right? He starts with talking about Gary Gensler, but also talks about, he's not just like saying, oh yeah, he's bad. He's explaining why his approach is wrong. And I really like how he explains how, for me, like coming from a social media background mostly, is like, he's like, the future of social media and platforms may require tokenization and decentralization and blockchain technology, right? And he's right. And he said, and I just love how he explains this. I wasn't familiar with him. I'm not too, I don't really follow that stuff. But what do you guys think, Tyler? What do you make of this clip? I thought this is one of the best clips to come out in a while. And then there's also the other clip. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, which was Larry Fink calling Bitcoin digital gold. But for me, it was mostly the band for band. Michael Dell posting it for me. Everybody in the mothers posted it, but Michael Dell posting it, saying fascinating #Bitcoin to me was the bigger news out of even him saying that. But what do you make of that JD Vance clip, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, JD Vance, he's young, he's smart, he's well-spoken. I think from the single issue of crypto, I think this is arguably the best outcome. If that is what you are most focused on, he is a Bitcoin owner. He seems to, he understands that the nuances of the space. Perhaps it's bad for meme coins, based on what he said. He's a utility coin maxi. So we will see what he ends up going after. CT celebrated the move. It's a little bit more complicated with respect to other issues. We can save that, for a different show. He is somewhat far right. He's backed by Peter Thiel. Elon Musk praised the nomination as well. I mean, Elon announced yesterday he's going to start donating $45 million a month to.
Dude, that's crazy. You guys did a super PAC thing.
So yeah, it looks like. I mean, I saw some impact to the popular vote market. It has not impacted the election market. So I mean, the VP choice was never really, after the events of this past weekend, the VP choice wasn't really going to impact the election for the most part. It seems like it's still pretty much unaffected. But I think from a crypto lens, there's reasons to be happy about that.
Yeah. I just really appreciate when a politician can speak about blockchain tech and cryptocurrency outside of just a pump and dump Ponzi-nomics type of thing.
Sure.
Like, that's what I like. Man, what do you think of all that? I know you also sent me a link of the Chevron Supreme Court ruling, etc. So it's all looking really good.
I have to say, I really like this guy. I'm a big fan. I think he comes across incredibly smart. I spent yesterday looking through a bunch of different speeches that he's made. He's very well spoken. His background was seemingly in the Marine Corps, and then he went to Yale and then worked in VC and had an incredibly successful Peter Thiel-backed fund, and then also had a best-selling book. Like this guy is actually, I liked him. That being said, the reason why I think it's more relevant now is there was a ruling about 2 or 3 weeks ago from the Supreme Court where they overturned the Chevron ruling from about 40 years ago, and people are saying that this is really going to change the game for the SEC. So it basically stops the SEC's ability to go after crypto. The whole way that the SEC has been regulating so far is regulation by enforcement, and it is basically saying that now the SEC cannot do that unless Congress has given it strict rules on crypto. It basically puts the power on politicians rather than the SEC. So when you see someone like this potentially into power, who has a pretty strong view on crypto, and we've seen crypto is becoming more of an issue in this election, is becoming an issue in many Senate races and in many House races. I think this is important, that we're now going to see a movement away from crypto even having to care about Gary Gensler to now looking to politicians to set mindful regulation around this. And when you see someone like that who clearly understands the space, I think it makes you feel quite bullish. Like we have some people in the US houses who are clearly still boomers. They don't really understand what's going on. But when you see a 39-year-old going in there and clearly understanding what's going on and probably could set a policy agenda even for something like this, I think that's very important.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Look, I rather politicians actually speak of something with knowledge, and if not, just don't speak about it at all. So I just wanted to point that out. I thought it was a good clip to explain what's going on. I love that he used social media as an example. Talk about how there's going to be a need for tokenization in certain areas, and if there's a certain utility to a token, then why would you label it as security right away? But anyways, the other clip of the day, obviously not going to play it all, but Tyler, I think you mentioned it in your roundup today as well, was this one, right? So BlackRock, Larry Fink, gotta love it. Out there, I watched the whole thing personally, of course, but I just love the way he explained Bitcoin. Again, we have some really good shillers out there now. We don't even need to do any work anymore. We may as well, we may as well just hang out for the rest of the cycle. The way he describes Bitcoin on national television made me want to make love to Bitcoin. Hey, what was your takeaway from this?
Yeah, I thought this was the most important news of yesterday, and yesterday was a pretty big news day.
Yeah,
I think arguably the most important part of the interview was the beginning, where he said he was a skeptic, and he called himself a proud skeptic 5 years ago, and then he studied crypto, and he changed his mind. And he goes on to lay out his bull case, and I can just replay it here briefly. So Bitcoin is a legitimate financial instrument, although it does have its misuses, as is everything. It can provide uncorrelated returns to traditional markets. It's a hedge against currency debasement and inflation, and it's an alternative to optimism. I think the last point up for more debate there. He goes on to call Bitcoin digital gold, which I also think is a huge signal. Just the selling point and understanding what digital gold is for Bitcoin. I think that's the only tagline you need. And here we have Larry Fink. He is 72 years old. He's a billionaire. He runs $9 trillion BlackRock. And he's saying, hey, I've changed my mind on this. I don't know that the signal gets any stronger. And like I've had my fair share of conversations with investment managers over the past few years. They are all notoriously anti-crypto. They don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah,
some of them aren't even allowed to talk about it.
I have a lot of friends in this industry that are not like top of the funnel, like investment managers that can lose their jobs if their bosses find out about their CT accounts, and they're not people with a lot of followers.
I think that's all going to change. I think there's a good chance it all changes very soon, like by the end of this year. And now you've got the talking points. Like you don't know the sales pitch for crypto, just watch this 2-minute video.
That's it.
Just give you the sales pitch. Like, just go tell your clients. Like you don't have to do any homework. It's incredibly easy.
Send them the video. You know what's crazy? And Ovi pointed out yesterday on a tweet. BlackRock manages assets. It's 3 times the market cap of crypto as a whole.
Yeah.
Maybe more, 3.5. Like they have what 10 trillion?
10 trillion, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 4x, right? Like crypto's around like 2.5. It's been hovering around there for a minute now. It's around 2.34. Sorry, 2.34 trillion dollars total market cap of all cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. So that was a good point. That is a great video. For those of you who have not seen it, we've all shared it, but you can just search on X, like Larry Fink, Bitcoin. It's a very, very good clip, explaining his vision. And you're right. I love it when someone starts with, "I was a skeptic, but I've turned around." And even Kramer, which I don't know if that's bullish or bearish, he was like, "You know what? You got me." He was like, they were fully agreeing with him. Like they were like he got him. He got him. And on the back of that, one thing I find interesting that I kind of wanted to bring up, I don't know if you guys see this Japanese company, a publicly traded company yesterday that announced acquisition of Bitcoin. They bought 2 million, it's yen, right? Yeah, 200 million yen of Bitcoin. Now, look, that's not a lot of Bitcoin in terms of like how much money it is, because I think 200 million yen is like $1 million.
Yeah, 1 million.
Yeah, but like the fact that Japanese publicly traded companies are now buying Bitcoin for their balance sheets, what happens when the S&P 500 companies, what happens when the base companies in the UK, stock exchange, I don't know, Canada, France, all around the world, CAC 40, like start buying Bitcoin for the balance sheets? Is that a possibility? I think it is. What do we think of that? Like, they don't need ETFs.
I think they will. Like this, it's this company Metaplanet which kept on doing it. But I agree with you that we will because of the changes in the US accounting regulation, we will definitely hear about more and more companies buying Bitcoin over the next year. Big companies, big companies.
Yeah, I mean, we had even in Japan, like we had Sony, right, acquire a whole ass exchange. Like what was it, last week? But I thought it was cool. I mean, what do you think of this, Tyler? I thought that was some fun. Like, look, not market moving news, but it's good.
It's just more signal, right? There's just more and more growing signal of this kind of adoption, of this kind of buying. I agree. We'll see more companies doing it, and it's just getting easier than ever to explain it, because you've got some of the most successful, investors and fund managers in the world talking about it now on a near daily basis. I think what's interesting is that I feel like that conversation, he's using the terms crypto. It felt more Bitcoin specific, kind of coming back to Larry Fink. What's going to be interesting is if and when they turn on the Ethereum talking points, right? So like we know the ETFs are coming. They'll have their own ETFs.
Tokenization.
Like that is a more complicated story to tell. So we will see like how they craft that narrative. And I think, we all understand like this tokenization narrative. Like we talk about it every day. We've been following this very closely. I think it's a little bit harder perhaps for someone who is at an arm's length to all this to understand that. So I'm curious how, Larry and others will, like, what the sales pitch will be.
Let's see how the greatest marketing campaign in the history of Ethereum goes.
But it's funny. It's like when the ETFs got approved back in January, I think we started talking about this. Like you're going to start to see the marketing. You're going to start to see the sales pitches. And that was kind of speculation at that point in time. Like we didn't have evidence that was coming. And now like it is, right? Like you see Larry coming on CNBC. It feels like somewhat regularly at this point talking about it. Like we're just going to see more of that, right? And then it's going to be ETH next. And maybe Solana, right, in 2025. Like if those ETFs are a real thing. So it has to be good.
Depends on the political climate, but hey, like I always refer back to actually a Beanie tweet. He was like, "There's a breakfast ETF on the market, which is a basket of all like the stuff you use to make breakfast, like flour, like all the ingredients, and the commodities, right, that are breakfast ingredients. So why wouldn't it be a basket of cryptocurrencies ETF? It's a great example, I find. And it's great. PLA Mando living his best life. He's living, bro. He's definitely living. I love that. I absolutely love that. You know what though? It goes back to March, right? Larry Fink's vision, ETFs and the tokenization of financial assets. Those who believe in tokenization feel it has the potential to revolutionize traditional financial markets by making assets more accessible, efficient, and transparent. So it looks like this is the angle they're going to approach. Now, let's see how they use it, because Bitcoin is easy. Digital gold. Done. Right? ETH is a little more complicated to explain. Okay, tokenization, but explain to me what that means and why it's good for me, the person on the other side that's not in crypto. So it'll be interesting. In other news, nothing to do with any of this. Tyler, it's something that you brought up. Ape Chain. So run me through this. What's the latest? We got a Garga post last night. I looked into it, and we got a little bit of beef. It got heated in there. But what's your read here?
Yeah, I don't know that we have a whole lot of additional information on what Curtis is coming later today. So I'm expecting more details on the announcement here forthcoming. But it seems like the timeline quickly moved off of this and into this Made by Apes fiasco, or whatever you want to call it. That Garga was also involved, and I think it re-upped the debate of like, why do we need an L2 for all these individual?
I don't think it's an L2, right? Because if it's on Arbitrum, it's probably L3. I mean, not that it's I get it, but I mean, if it's powered by Arbitrum, which it is, because even yesterday, Steven, the founder of Arbitrum, posted like a graphic of all the people building on Arb, and Anime and Ape Coin were on there. So I don't think that's what it is, but it got rowdy in there. It definitely got rowdy. Where was it? Fuck, dude. I can't find it, but maybe it's not there anymore. It definitely got rowdy.
And just in the replies,
I was a little bit confused. Like some guy got fired.
No. Do we want to get into explaining that?
The only thing I saw was that several of that Garga got in an argument with one of the Made by Apes.
I can't find it. Maybe
someone
they were
on the team that all but one of the companies that were in Made by Apes were taken off of the website.
It's the guy who founded Sassy Labs that did Made by Apes, Mando.
Yeah.
I think he listens to the show as well. And so there it is. It's under this post about Brian Pellegrino talking about attending events, and then Garga talking about it. It was a different post. And yeah, it was somewhere there. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. It was this tweet. There it is. It was this one. That was the tweet that was shared. Garga going, I got a healthy family, a puppy, and all my biggest haters literally live in houses they wouldn't have if it wasn't for BAYC. Even Paulie would still be broke, little bitch. I sleep comfy. It's not me saying it. Don't come beefing with me. I got no beefs. I got no ops.
Hold on. That was just sent out as not as a response.
Yeah, it was as a response to
the reply.
This guy who was saying, how do you stay so graceful and humble towards founders in the space? So it was like a positive comment he was replying to.
Right.
And then that's what he said. And then Richie Rich. So it's Richie, right? You've probably seen him on the timeline. He said, I don't know, bro.
He was an ape.
He was an ape. Yeah, remember he had the pimp coat ape?
Yeah.
But he found it. To his defense, but he found it. So he founded Sassy Labs, which was doing powering the tech behind Made by Apes for a moment. Yeah. Right? The franchise model, right? To create a brand. And then, and if I explain that poorly, I'm sorry. I don't know it pinpoint. But point being, he created this tool, and then they had a fall off because there was a leak in the customer information. And it seems like this is a fight about whose fault it was. Garga pinpointing towards his company, his company's failure, therefore a leak, and then him pointing out towards Garga saying, no, it was your employees that mismanaged the customer information. So that's what the beef is about. But it's just a lot of big words being thrown around on both sides. And so I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe you guys on the Sassy Labs cap table, maybe they're not. It seems like there's a lot. There's probably more than me. And then Garga sharing this tweet, this screenshot from last year. I don't know. There's a lot of personal stuff, dirty laundry being aired out here between the two, right? You know what I mean? So that's my read, Tyler.
Unfortunate timing.
Unfortunate.
Especially as we were like, it felt like sentiment had maybe bottomed, and then maybe we were starting to kind of rally, around some of the NFT leaders. And now it's like that's not an ecosystem like I want to jump at first into. Like, if I'm just being totally honest.
Yeah, I mean, what are Apes at right now? What are
like 9.5?
9.5, yeah. 9.5, yeah. Here, 9.5. What are Pudgy's at? 10.5. Milady's 5. Okay.
There's still a polymarket bet on will Milady's flip Bored Apes in 2024. I'm gonna see if I can find this.
Is there?
I was just looking at it this morning.
Yeah, I can find it for you. Here, Milady.
Oh, there it is. 46% chance. Feels
46% chance.
It's basically a 100% move.
It's less than. It's a 40% move, right?
Yeah, so they're at 5.1. So 5.1.
No, sorry, it's way more. So it's like an 80% move, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that, man? What do you think? But Milady flips Apes this 2024.
Could happen. The ladies feel really strong, right?
What do you think, Tyler?
I wouldn't bet it.
Really? I mean, dude, Pepe
like they're at 5. Like, why aren't they higher than 5? Like,
I mean, you get another astronomical run on meme coins, and you get like the Mogs of this world and Pepe and everything up to like billions, and then you have like Milady at like 28, in my opinion.
I feel like the problem with Miladies is that so many of them are so coin centric that like if the NFT is worth too much, they'll just sell it to trade tokens with.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I've had mine since like 2-3 ETH, and I love it. So this shit is I like him. I like him. That's why.
Yes, we gotta get your take.
In 2024, I mean, it all depends on what happens with this testnet and the ape stuff. But the ape coin did not move one bit on that news, right?
That's a hard coin to move.
It didn't move. It moved 3.59% in 24 hours. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It didn't move, so we'll see. Anyway, so was there anything the big? I don't think I missed anything, right, Tyler? From your
that's pretty much it. Ordinals and runes are showing some signs of life ahead of what is now just an even
2 days in a row
Bitcoin Nashville conversation. And granted, it's not. We need a few more days to really start getting excited about this after a
80%
downturn on all of our bags. But there is some green.
I saw you reply to me on the Juanse's post. I thought it was funny. I thought this was a funny back and forth here. Juanse posted that Pops was up 48% on the day, and I said I need 10 days of this. And then just go, you went 100 days straight for me. So I thought that was.
It
funny.
Feels like it's going to take 100 days to get back to where Pops were. But hey, some signs of life.
Yeah, some signs of life. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the back of Bitcoin Nashville Feb. But anyways, all right, boys. Why don't we get to picking two winners? It's your last chance to follow us all and do your thing. We have some really nice selection for you today. Also, it's so warm here. Jesus Christ. I need to stop turning the AC off before the show because by the time the show is done, I'm fucking dying of heat. We'll pick two winners here. Let me load the tweet. Oh, did you do it, Sims? Or should I share? I was ready. You got it? Okay, awesome. All right. Fomo Hour, Robit, Farouk, Rec Mando, load tweet. There you go, baby. All right. And the two winners. Let's see. We got two more on Friday. You have to follow Farouk, Tyler, Mando, Robit, and Fomo Hour. Again, big shout out to Robit, allowing us to give all this money away since February. We've given away like $700,000 worth of NFTs. So far, it's not a bad number. Oh no way! No, that can happen, right? Burn? No way, Birdie won. It's fair.
There's no way.
It's fair and square. He's not. It's not like the Rug Radio account. What do we think, Mando's Tyler?
Get him up for sure.
Get him up, Birdie.
The man does work his ass off every fucking day in that Discord. So credit where credit's due to the boy. Get him up.
Bird. You know what?
He's been retweeting. Then he deserves it.
You know what? Bird and Tabs, and another name. It's not our Tabs, but it's the person.
No, different Tabs.
Congratulations.
It's not our Tabs. Yeah.
They are the quickest 2 requests I have ever seen. Holy shit!
That's how you know it's
bang
real.
bang.
Bang bang. I didn't even say Tabs' name, and yo, Birdie, how you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling like it's a punk. It's gonna be a punk.
You know what's funny? Everyone that's listening, like every morning on Tuesday and Friday, the Rug Radio team chat lightens up. Everyone's like, "Come on, I'm gonna win today!" Like they've all been like Ev and Bernie and Benjamin, and they're the most excited people every Tuesday, Friday. So I'm happy. Bernie, just for some background, for those of you who may not know Bernie, he's a community all-star. He is a community manager for Red Guy, the Lord's work. And then you know what? I liked him a lot, so I took him as also community manager of Rug Radio. So he's been co-managing both communities for like 2 years now, right, Mando? He's been working for the both of us for like 2.5 years now. And he is the man at the front line taking all the fucking shit 24/7. And
no shit in the Red Guy. There's no shit in the Red Guy.
No shit in the Red Guy. I get it.
The memes are pretty rough though. There might be no shit.
The memes are pretty
fucking rough.
He gets bullied pretty heavily in there.
Oh yeah.
But he likes it. And then not only that, he's also the person in charge of the partnerships on Fomo Hour. So if you want to partner with us, you may as well just message Bernie on Fomo Hour. And Tabs, what's up, man? How you doing?
GMG.
You got a voice changer. Don't worry, you don't got a doctor voice if you don't want to. But good morning, and I'm glad you made it up here. All right, well, Bernie, you were first, so let's go to you first.
Come on, Punk.
Oh my God,
Punk, do it.
Oh my God, I want Bernie to win a Punk so bad. So let me. Oh wait,
you don't win it. Sorry, Ben.
Cancelled. We've cancelled.
Christmas is cancelled.
I refreshed the wrong screen. Sorry guys. Okay. So I'm like shaking. I'm shaking that it's Bernie right now. So we have 4 punks. Come on. I doubled the odds of the punks this morning. Made it at 1%. I had a bunch of mutants and red guys. So we have $1,000 NFTs, $6,000 NFTs, $20,000 NFTs, and $100,000 NFTs. Okay. I'm shaking. I may collapse if Bernie wins a punk right now. Okay. I want everybody to okay. Let's go.
Come on, baby.
Let's go.
Come on.
Come on, baby.
Get it.
What's another red guy, Bernie?
26 red guys. I'm not gonna floor it. Let's go, baby.
And well, it is red guy number 1626, and it is not a floor red guy. This one's worth $1,500. So congratulations, Bern.
All right, thank you.
God damn it, though. We need a big win. All right, Tabs, are you ready? Are you ready, Mr. Tabs? Oh,
I'm ready.
Look at that. He's got with Pepe and Epic in his bio. Mendo, it's always someone that's an Epic community member. I'll tell you, it's always that. It's so funny. All right, let's spin, baby. Come on, give us a pump. That's a nice $1,700 red guy. Congratulations, Tabs, for winning a red guy. So both red guys are not floor ones. So $3,000 given away this morning again. Man, we continue to be on a red guy streak right now on the show. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've had a big hit. Oh man, you guys have me hyped up. But look, it's still super bullish. And just a reminder, tomorrow, and before I leave off, we have a big guest coming on the show tomorrow. It's going to be a great interview at Johan Kerbat, the crypto GM at Robinhood, who's going to come and talk to us about the acquisition of Bitstamp and a few things that Robinhood and Bitstamp are up to. So that's a pretty big conversation. I had a conversation with Robinhood a few weeks ago and was saying, hey, why don't you come and talk on the show about, it was like the same day as the acquisition of Bitstamp actually. So it's going to be fun. We got someone from Robinhood tomorrow as a guest to come and chat all things crypto, the current state of things, and what Robinhood's up to. So really exciting one. That is Bernie Tabs. Again, congratulations for winning your red guys today. With that, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.